Silver did it. It got to $34 an ounce earlier in the day, and then there was a murder. I'll explain what I mean in this video as we explore. That's right. Before the markets opened in the United States, silver got up to $34 an ounce, and then there was a pretty big drop, at least from that point to where we're at right now. As of the moments before the markets close, it's now down a 0.5 percentage point. But the gold to silver ratio has widened. Before I get into too much about what happened and why it is a crime, I'm going to first remind you of channel sponsor Summit Metals. Next time you're in the budget to buy silver, check out summitmetals.com. They have great competitive prices, excellent service, and fast shipping. So what happened today? Well, there was a pullback just a bit during the early hours here today, but then turned around to show signs of life again. But by doing so, the market is likely to continue to go higher, perhaps trying to break above the recent swing high of near the $34.22 level. And so it did get up to $34.01. Now, I did post a poll in my Sunday Night Market Watch live stream to see how many of you thought we would see $34 by the end of this week. Well, we're on hump day right now, and it has indeed happened, up 1 cent before a pretty dramatic pullback. And silver is volatile, and we're going to see that likely to continue, especially as we anticipate the tariffs coming on April the 2nd. You have to be very cautious in a breakout. But I think, and the folks at FX Empire believe that we're going to see it go up to $35 an ounce soon. If we can break above that $35 an ounce level, it's likely that we could see silver really make a huge run. That's what they're thinking. I'm not thinking that. In the past, it has broken that area only to run all the way up to the $50 level. But that's a huge stretch to make that conclusion. Short-term pullbacks, but I do think $36 is something that we will see by the end of the year. I feel fairly strongly with that, even where we're at right now. Now, if we put all the threes together, it's $33.33. That $33 level and the 50-day moving average at the $32.35 level all come into play as potential entries of any type of pullback. In other words, we could see those again. Right now, we're at $33.63, with silver trading down a 0.5 percentage point right now, down 16 cents overall. But it was a volatile market indeed. It's crazy. And looking at the chart, when did this all happen? Well, it's right before the markets open here in the United States. Silver jumped up to $34 an ounce, only to be smacked down hard with a heavy volume that occurred around the 10 o'clock mark, and from 9:30 to 10 o'clock, and then the volume kept going, and there was an attempt for a recovery, but it got down as low as $33.50 some odd cents. And then there was a struggle. It was a back and forth razor tooth as we kept on going through here, where it got smacked down, and then we're seeing some recovery here in late trading. But that's where we're at now. But boy, I tell you, it was quite a day, and it makes you wonder, what's going on here with the silver market? Is it a lot of the shorts coming into play, trying to smack that price down? With this high-frequency trading that's going on, many people feel, especially considering it's right at the beginning of the market, or, especially if some of this stuff happens overnight. We're used to the Friday smackdowns, but here we are midweek with it happening here. Many people feel that is the big banking institutions having an effect here. Now, I believe the natural market forces are more powerful. Yes, I do. However, things like this, especially given the timing of it, makes you wonder. These short positions and what's going on there are something that potentially should be investigated, maybe. I don't know. It just depends on who's doing the trade and how it's happening. But nonetheless, that's where we find ourselves right now. Speaking of crime, well, let's talk a little bit about crime for a moment, and silver. Many people feel there's a lot of crime that's going on with silver, but we typically don't associate it with the mob, right? At least not in the classic families of the mob, like the Genovese crime family. The good folks at Spectre sent along to me this here to review for you. This is a new 2-ounce coin that has been released here, and I'm going to show it to you. They always do a great job with their packaging, and no exception with this particular piece. We're going to pull it out to show you. It comes with this cool little card, certificate of authenticity here that shows it. I think this is I believe, a part of a series here that they've got here. It's pretty amazing. The Genovese crime family, founded by the infamous Charles Lucky Luciano, and later led by figures like Vito Genovese and Frank Costello, is certainly the mastermind of organized crime in the United States. And this represents that part of history for sure. Look at that. Pretty amazing piece. Well done in this 2-ounce coin here. Yes. And it is definitely a coin bar. It looks like the ace of spades here on this side. With control over labor unions, gambling, narcotics, and political corruption, they established themselves as the most powerful crime syndicate in New York. Known for their secrecy and influence, the Genovese family operated as both strategists and enforcers, cementing their position at the top of the Mafia hierarchy. And the coin's reverse features a powerful image of the family's crime boss seated in authority, flanked by his loyal capos and soldiers, backed by the ace of spades. Highlighted in gold gilding are the boss's cigar and weapons wielded by his men. The obverse showcase a stylized playing deck there that you can see, with design with symbols representing the underworld, guns, cash, narcotics, and poker chips. Each gold accented bullet hole with unique symbols represents one of the 5 families merging Mafia lore and numismatic history, which implies that this is going to be a part of a series. Very, very well done, though. No question about it. It is has that slight matte finish as well as slight antiquing there, and it comes from the Republic du Chad with year 2025 there. Legal tender crafted from 3/9 fine silver. It's antiqued in ultra high relief with selective gold gilding. Creates a striking visual contrast. There's only 500 pieces of this, and the coin is essential for collectors fascinated by history, organized crime, and fine craftsmanship. So check it out. I'm going to post a link in the description below to this release for you to check out. It is very well done. And yes, indeed. So there's that. We'll leave this here so you can look at while we go through other aspects of what's happening here in the silver market. You know, seems to be somewhat of a crime with what's going on. Should it be investigated? Many people feel like it probably should, even more so than it is now. Hopefully the Trump administration will take note some of the stuff that's going on. But, you know, and again, investigating does not mean that there's guilt associated there. But there's a lot of short positions, and not only from the banks, but also in regards to other assets of the silver market. The PSLV being the latest. That is, some people are going to try to continue to press against those shorts by buying the PSLV. So we'll see there how that plays out. But silver is a metal that is resilient, and nonetheless, and that is that we're holding on to above $32 an ounce, $32.50, which was a psychological number that we were looking at in terms of, the resistance to support level. It used to be $30, but now $32.50 seems to be the big number, and $33.33, as I alluded to, with some resistance at $34 that we're seeing right now. Some felt that once it got up to $33, it would just soar from there. And in fact, the folks at FX Empire think that that new number is $35. I don't think it's going to come there. I don't think it's going to happen. But nonetheless, I think that if we can get above 35, we may be able to creep our way up to 36. It's just we've got too much working against us in the silver market for it to just soar beyond a whole much past that. Certainly not to $50 an ounce. $50 an ounce is obviously a very strong psychological number for two reasons: 2011 and 1980. However, adjusted for inflation, silver has a long way to go to reach its record high. It's got a long way to go to reach its record high in nominal dollars, much less real dollars. But in the end, and anywhere in between, silver will preserve your wealth. It does require some time and strategy in order to make that work. Certainly pieces like this, which are high premium, these are collectible pieces. This is just for fun and to have as part of your collection. But stacking silver is something that is paramount with the lowest premiums you can find possible for the most recognized versions of silver are going to preserve your wealth over the long run with strategic buying. I'm a believer in silver for sure, and I continue to buy it. I did get 2 more ounces, and I'm going to show you those maybe in another video. So I'll talk about those, but yes. But I believe in silver and will continue to stack it and hold it. And it makes you wonder, though, is there something going on with this crime, this massive volume that we saw earlier in the day, and the price continued to move down. All the while, gold is hovering around flat to up slightly. So it makes you wonder if something gives here. The gold to silver ratio, by the way, is now back above 90 because of today's activity. So let me know what your thoughts are about what's going on with the silver market. I'd like to extend a multitude of gratitude to each and every one of you for taking the time to watch, and to encourage you to please rate, share, comment, and subscribe.